Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a build that I've wanted to do for a very long time. And it looks like it's snowing in the Commonwealth now, so I figured what better time than now to try out the Captain Cold build. That's a build that's built around the Cryolator, styled off of DC's Captain Cold. I know, I've seen many conversations and posts and rants and videos on the internet about how mid-tier the Cryolator is, and it's doing very much damage, and the ammo's expensive, and even when you do have the money, it's hard to find, and it's super rare. All of that is nonsense. I am here to tell you that the Cryolator not only is a serviceable weapon, but it is, I argue, the best weapon in the game. Let's take a look. Alright, so first we're going to start off by talking about the Cryolator itself and proof of concept. I went out and hunted down a bunch of big monsters that I could find, just to show you guys exactly how powerful this gun really is when you build for it correctly, when you prepare for it correctly. And you notice, I'm at 999 ammo, and that's not going to change this entire video. I'm going to show you guys how to get plenty of ammo for this thing so you never have to worry about it again. As I went through, and I was specifically, after I killed those two Deathclaws, I was looking for things that had high armor. Things that had high resistance. So I was looking for sentry bots, Mire Alert Queens, and nothing. Like, it just cut through everything, and I couldn't figure out why it was. And I know a lot of you are going to say probably, oh, well, maybe, you know, there's no way he could cut through that thing on hard difficulty. He's probably playing on an easy difficulty. Well, at this point, I actually went through and I show you, I'm playing on very hard difficulty for all these clips, because I realized I'm cutting through this stuff so easy, people aren't going to believe me. So I'm like, I have to show you. I have to show you that I'm playing on very hard difficulty. And the reason why I think it's easy is because, and it would tip me off, is when I went against the Brotherhood of Steel guy here. Two shots knocked him down 80%. And I think it's because they don't have resistance to ice. Things can have resistance to poison, physical damage, energy damage, even fire possibly. But I don't think there's anything in the game that has resistance to ice, and that is the strength of this gun. Nothing can stand up to this gun. Nothing can resist it. And because of that, it's just an all-around general purpose monster of a gun. But how do you get the Cryolator to that point? Well, let's start by taking a look at special stats. So this first line here is the stats that I started with. I maxed out intelligence. Part of this build is roleplay oriented because, like I said, I was building for Leonard Snart, Captain Cold, and he is a tech genius. So I decided to lean hard on intelligence. And I started off maxed out. Agility is a dump stat. You don't need it at all on this character. And you only need to go up to luck 2 so that you can get the bobblehead to go up to 3 and then unlock Bloody Mess. For charisma, you only need to go up to 3 to get Lone Wanderer. Although if you want to go higher, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do some settlement building, so you can get community leader. But you only need to go up to 2 so you can get Lone Wanderer. Because Leonard Snart works alone. I put quite a bit into endurance because I tried it originally with a 1 endurance, and he was made out of wet paper. At least with this, he's made out of glass. Strength and perception, you need both of those at a 5. But you get the perception baubles so early. Like, it's the very first one you get when you rescue the Quincy 5 from Concord. So you only need to start with a 4, because you're going to get that 5 quickly. And the reason you need these both at 5 is because strength is for the big gun perk, and perception you need at a 5 for the explosives perk. Both of those apply to the Cryolator. So you need, those are the stats that I started with on this build. And, you know, obviously, you don't have to start with a high intelligence, but I didn't want to keep doing Idiot Savant for all of my characters, especially since it doesn't really apply to this character. Captain Cold is not an idiot. He's very intelligent, so it makes sense. So this second row was after I acquired these bobbleheads. As you can see, I've got 5 of them. I do not have all 7. I did not get the strength one, because the strength one you get almost at the end of the game. It's hard to get. And I didn't bother going to get the agility one, because like I said, agility on this character is an absolute throwaway stat. You don't need it at all. So I just ignored it completely. I did do the drink a beer to lower my intelligence, and then use the special book to raise my intelligence to 11. And then I went and got the bobblehead from the library to bring it up to a 12. And then I also have the perception, endurance, and charisma, which brought those each up. And of course, luck, which is out on Spectacle Island. You just got to run out there and pick it up. So, that was an easy one to get. And then these stats down here are after my equipment, my final equipment setup. As you can see, with my final equipment setup, the standard, what I ran around with most of the game, I had a 17 intelligence. I leveled very quickly. This build is done around level 47, because that's when you get the last rank of heavy gun. I ended the playthrough, not intentionally, it's just I leveled so quickly, that's where I ended it, at level 63. So, having this high of an intelligence, you're keeping up with people who have idiots among. Charisma, because I have several sharp items, and I'll go into gear in a minute here. I had several items that were sharp, so I had +4 to charisma, and then my goggles gave me +1 to perception. Those were the only attribute bonuses that I got from equipment. So I was able with this character, with these attributes, to actually achieve a 19 charisma, because like I said, I had 3 pieces of sharp equipment. Fancy suit and tie is like the only thing in the game that you can wear under armor like this that gives intelligence and charisma. Or if you prefer, you get the plaid suit and tie if you want to double up on the charisma and drop your intelligence by 1. The sprinter's right leg, I just grabbed it because it was really good. And then of course the captain's hat, which gives me +2 to intelligence and increased movement speed. This is an excellent hat. And it gives you defense and energy defense. This is just all around a good hat to get, but you don't get it till you do the captain's dance. So you're pretty high level by the time you get it, but it's really awesome. So that's the charisma gear. My final loadout lets me get up to a 19. I could have done better. I mean, I don't have a chest piece on here for starters. And there are other items, I think, like, for example, the High Confessor's, not the High Confessor's, the Inquisitor's helm that you get from the Children of Adam. But that wasn't really appropriate for this build. It gives you a +4 intelligence. So, but of course, you can't wear goggles or a hat when you're wearing it. It takes up the whole head. So, you're really only getting a +1 intelligence out of it. But still, I could have gone a little higher. If I had a chest piece for starters, I could have gone up to a 20. But let's look at charisma. So, obviously, there's the basic, what everybody knows about Reginald's suit that you get from Trinity Tower after you rescue Fist and the radio host guy that's with him. Not Fist, Strong. You defeat Fist, you rescue Strong. And then you get Reginald's suit, which is a 3 charisma, and you also get the super mutant companion. The Newsboy cap is everywhere. It's a basic +1, and then black rim glasses. So this setup is easy to get very early in the game, and it's a +5. On top of that 6, it's easy to get up to an 11. And then if you want to go a little more advanced, again, I went with a fancy plaid suit and tie for my charisma shirt, my charisma outfit, because it's +2 charisma, and I can put armor over it. So I can wear the pack shawl, which gives me another +1 to charisma. And the fashionable glasses, I could have worn the black for glasses, but this outfit just looks like it goes with the fashionable glasses. And then, of course, the Dapper Gent hat that you get from Far Harbor, which gives you a +2. So for a total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got 6 here. Plus 7, 8, 9, potentially 10 if you get, if I had sharp on this one. So you'd have +10 just from your gear. So you could, I was able to achieve a 13 charisma without chems. You could achieve a 16. Or, yeah, a 16. Now, the reason why you do want to have a good set of charisma gear is because, obviously, the ammo for the Cryolator is so expensive. And I'm going to get into, I have 2 different setups, one that's complicated and one that's very easy but out of the way to get really cheap ammo frequently. Now, one thing I did want to touch on is I did mention, I came across this hammer early in my playthrough, and I mentioned, like, ooh, it's got frigid on it. This is my backup weapon now. I actually ended up never using it again because I kept finding other frigid weapons and freezing weapons. I even found this one at the end. I renamed it Frostbite. It's just, it's a ripper with the frigid property on it. So I named it Frostbite. I mainly used this. I only used it like once or twice because there were a couple of enemies that when they were frozen, I couldn't, they were legendaries, and I couldn't get the legendary item out of their inventory, so I had to chop them up with this thing to get it out of there. And of course, you know, I got a freezing harpoon gun as well. So I realized, you know, if you want to add stuff like this to supplement your playthrough, because they are ice themed, it's your call. I didn't need any of them. The Cryolator alone was more than adequate to cover all my needs. And, you know, being an all-purpose weapon, I didn't really need anything else. Although I did. Oh, and of course, there's also cryogenic armor, which, again, it's a nice thematically appropriate addition. We'll get into what equipment I actually work with, my playing gear, not my charisma gear or intelligence gear, but the stuff I actually wore. But I did have the cryogenic grenade and the cryo mine as part of my loadout, because I figured, you know, I should have something else. Now, let's take a look at this baby right here. Now, as you can see, I have over 5,000 rounds, and this is after many hours of game. I think the max I kept maxed out at was somewhere around just shy of 7,000. I think I had like 6,900 and something. Let's talk about aesthetics. So, there's different kinds of outfits that you can go with for this that give kind of a Captain Cold aesthetic. This was originally the one that I was going to go with, both because it has this like white shawl that the Captain Cold from the comic books has, and the fact that it's so unique that there's literally only one place in the game that you can find this outfit, and that is on, this is the tattered field jacket and wrapped cap. Now, the wrapped cap, you can buy that from any vendor. The tattered field jacket that I know of, there's only one place to get it for sure, and that is off of a dead raider in Jamaica Plains. I've never seen anyone else wearing this, and I thought, okay, it's unique, it's white, it's got the shawl, it looks good, but if you look at these stats, 1 defense, 1 perception, no defense. And neither one of these can be upgraded. If they could be upgraded with the ballistic mesh from the railroad, they're my go-to, but they can't. This is it. So you're basically walking around naked for the whole game because you can't even put armor over it. I went with the welding goggles early because like they're super easy to get. You get them from that house next to on the second floor next to the Red Rocket gas station right outside of Concord. It's super easy to get. It's guaranteed fine. And I thought, okay, this is a good outfit, but it looks good, but the gear is trash. So then I considered this outfit, which is the green hood and scavenger outfit. But again, look at the stats. This is trash. And these items, again, cannot be upgraded with the ballistic mesh. So, you know, this and the wraparound goggles and the green hoodie, this is more of a, I don't, you know, if you've ever seen Legends of Tomorrow, the live action Captain Cold wore this kind of an outfit. So which is why I was leaning towards it. When it's just not viable as good as it looks, unless you're willing to walk around basically naked. But what I actually finally settled on was this right here. Now, the Captain Cold from the comics, his outfit is mostly blue with white trim. And when I saw that the, what is it, polymer, I think is the highest rank. When I saw that the polymer armor was white, and I could wear it over the Legend of the Vault, Legend of Vault 88, which is the undergarment that I went with, because it gives you 2 defense, which Vault suits normally don't give you any. And the final radiation and energy resistance is a bit higher. Vault suits normally can only be upgraded to, I want to say 20 and 25 respectively, so these are both a little higher. And the 15% reduction of damage from ghouls is nice. And then, of course, the operator's goggles. I cannot rave about these enough. They are the perfect look for Captain Cold. These are exactly the goggles that he wears. And they're the reason I was inspired to make this character. I made this character because I wanted to wear these goggles. And if you look at the stats, they just get better. They're the only eyewear in the game other than the operator's glasses, I think is what they're called. Because the glasses give you +2 defense and +2 energy resistance. This gives you 4 and 4 and a +1 to perception, which is most eyewear. All you get is a +1 to perception. There's a couple which I went over earlier that give you pluses to charisma, and there is one which I will go over in a minute that gives +1 to intelligence, which is the road goggles. And then of course the Ushanki hat, I went with that because it's a +1 to intelligence, which this is an intelligence build, so that's just really nice. And it's furry and it's got a wintry look to it, and it really fits the aesthetic of what I was going for. And of course, you can see I have the full destroyer set. Now, if you want, you can get rid of the Ushanki hat and get the destroyer helmet, which is acquired from the shop in Covenant. I haven't been there on this playthrough. It's right here. If you come over to the Bedford Station Railroad and just follow this road down, there's very little resistance here, maybe a couple of ghouls, and it's right here. It's the one that gives you the test to get in, and there's a shop in there, and you just go in and buy the helmet. Now the helmet has the sharp property. It gives a +1 intelligence and a +1 charisma, which for this build is excellent. But I decided to go with the Ushanki hat, which, although it's weaker, I like the aesthetic of it. Although towards the end, I switched back over to the captain's hat. And here's the road goggles. Now the road goggles are the only eyewear in the game that gives a +1 to intelligence, and I did wear them for most of the playthrough until I got the operator glasses. They are quite easy to get. Once you reach, I want to say 15 or 16, the Mechanist quest automatically starts, and you just go over and you help Ada fight off the robots, and then you can just take the road goggles off of one of the dead bodies that's sitting there. It's guaranteed. It's always there every time. Next, I want to talk about perks. So the most important perks for this build are Heavy Gunner and Demolition Expert. If you have the focus mod on the Cryolator, the Cryolator automatically gains bonus and damage from Heavy Gunner. But if you have the focus mod, I think it's called the focus mod, you also gain bonus damage from Demolition Expert because you gain a second type of damage. So these two are going to be paramount. You're going to want to get these as soon as they are available, and you're going to want to max them out. Also, because we only have, starting off, 4 endurance, toughness is going to be important. I max that one out as quickly as I can as well. And Lone Wanderer is just a good one to have if you're going to be running around without a companion. I usually play solo, so I go with Lone Wanderer. It's just a good general perk to have. I also, because like I said, this was partially a roleplay build, Leonard Snart is a master thief, so we definitely want to have at least Lockpick 3 and Hacker 3, because he is also very intelligent, so he's going to be good at hacking. So next you're going to want to have Science, and you're going to want to have Armorer. This is going to be so that you can fully upgrade whatever it is you're going to be wearing underneath your armor. If you go with the Legend of Vault 88, you're going to need Science 4 and Armor 4 to get that last rank. If you're not going to wear that, then you don't need Science. I'm not canvas. Where is it? Science. You don't need Science beyond rank 1. You want rank 1 so you can build the large water purifiers, so you can build your water farm. But beyond the first rank of Science, you don't need it if you're not using the Legend of Vault 88 suit. So if you're going to use, like, say, a green shirt and combat boots to get the, I think it's charisma and endurance is what that gives, and you're going to use the ballistic weave in there, all you need is Armorer 4. You don't need the Science. I only took science because I wanted to upgrade my vault suit all the way up. Also, I highly recommend Nerd Rage for this build. It's a really fun perk. It saved my ass a lot of times. And it's really cool when it goes off because it gives you a visual cue on the screen when everything slows down. Sometimes I have a tendency to not always pay attention to my health bar. So having a visual cue that, hey dude, you're about to die, really helpful. And the bonus to damage and the bonus to defense is really nice. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is plan to try to make a lot of money. We all know the ammunition for the Cryolator is very expensive. So you want at least 2 ranks of Capped Collector. You're going to want at least 3 ranks of Fortune Finder and 3 ranks of Scrounger because, yeah, Scrounger gets you ammo, but you can sell ammo for money. We all know this. And you're going to want to pick up that bobblehead so that you can get the 3rd rank of Luck so that you can get Bloody Mess. Now, you're going to want to pick up... There's only 2 bobbleheads that you have. If you look at the spreadsheet of the perk progression that I have in the description of this video, there are only 2 bobbleheads that have a specific level requirement, which is why I included that level, the level requirement chart for the bobbleheads. And that is, you need to have perception by level 8, which should be very easy to do because you get it very, very early in the game, so that you can start taking demolition as early as possible. And then I put Bloody Mess very near the end of the progression so that you don't need the Luck bobblehead until level 36. You can put off Bloody Mess longer and take your time getting the bobblehead if you want. Bloody Mess on this build was an afterthought. This is such a light build perk-wise that I was struggling to find perks that this build could actually benefit from. Which is why, like, for example, I have the ranks of Rad Resistance, and I have Chemist, and I have Chem Resistance. These are, perks that I took after level 47. This build, you could argue this build is done at level 35, because that's when you get the 4th rank of Heavy Gunner, and by then you've also already got 4 ranks of Demolition. The only thing you get after level 35 that is like a make or break for this build, even remotely, is Heavy Gunner 5, which you get at level 47. For sure the build is done at 47. Everything after level 47 of this build is just gravy. The build is done and capped at 47. So I didn't take it on this build because I, wasted it on other things, but I put Life Giver on the skill progression. It's pretty late in the perk progression, but I did put it in there because I thought having extra health is good, especially when you have a low endurance, and the 3rd rank gives you a little bit of health regeneration. And I didn't put Rad Resistance anywhere in the build because I didn't want to have to buy endurance. For this to be able to take Rad Resistance, you need to get the bobblehead and then buy another rank because we started at 4. Right? So if you just go and grab that bobblehead, you can then come and take this rank of Aqua Boy whenever you want. I think I put Aqua Boy at like 45. Did I put it on here? Yeah, I put it at 49. So yeah, that's a basic overview of the perks that I have for this character. Like I said, I do have in the description a level by level walkthrough of the perk progression that I recommend for this build. That is, in my opinion, it's as optimized as I can get it. I'm not going to say it's optimized because someone else might do better, but I think I got it as good as I could get it. All right, time to talk about the most important part of this build, how to get lots of cheap ammo. Now, ammo is, on this gun, crazy expensive. If you have both of the Caps Collector perks and the Barter Bobblehead, I think is the Barter Bobblehead. There's a bobblehead that gives you a discount at merchants. And if you have all 3 of those and a 12 charisma, there's still 12 caps each. 12 caps for 1 bullet on this gun is expensive because you fly through ammo. So you need a way to be able to raise funds quickly, and quickly access a merchant. So we're here in Vault 88. Let me show you what I did here. I go over this in more detail in the playthrough in one of the episodes. Basically, I built a water farm in Vault 88. And now I've seen a lot of people, they like to build their water farms in Sanctuary. For me, because you have game mechanics that involve like how much water your settlement produces, increasing the chance of a raider attack, I just feel like it's better to build it down here because raiders never attack. Now, you see I got Doc Wellington over here. Or Weathers. Doc Weathers? I thought he was Wellington.
Here, or are you just yanking my chain?
No. But you can see I built several of these caravan stops down here to get the caravans to stop down here. And I have beds up here. So what I do is I fast travel back and forth until Cricket is down here. Cricket sells as many cryo cells as anybody else. And so what I do is I go and I collect the water, which the water, as you can see, has a value of 20. You can actually get to sell it for a value of up to 16, which is 1 1/4, like 5 bottles of water gets you, or 4 bottles of water gets you 5 cryo cells if you have maxed out charisma. So it is, I sleep in the bed, I go and buy, and I sell water and buy cryo cells from Cricket, and then I sleep in the bed for 2 days so that she refills, and she doesn't leave. If you don't leave this cell, she doesn't either. The only time that she leaves here is when you leave, and when you come back, a different merchant will be here. That's why she's not here right now, because I left and came back. However, this setup is complete. I mean, you can see I built it out pretty well. You don't need to build it out this much, but I did. I wanted to make it look nice. But it is still, I mean, you've got to build the water farm. You've got to do all the quests for Vault 88. It is cumbersome. You've got to build a bed. You've got to do all the quests in Bunker Hill to unlock the caravan trading posts so that you can come and build these down here to get them down. Like there's a whole bunch of quests you got to do. This is a cumbersome way to do it. But there is another way that is much easier to do that doesn't involve any of that. Let's go take a look at that now. Welcome to method number 2. This is much, much simpler. Although, the one drawback, if you're not a fan of Nuka World, it does require you to enter Nuka World. See, our good buddy back here, Aaron Corbett, he sells cryo cells. Just as many as Cricket can. And he's got a bed right there that you are allowed to sleep in. So what you do is you just come over here with your charisma gear. You barter with him. You buy your cryo cells. And you see they sell for 16 caps. That's too many. One more. We'll do 2 more. I like to buy up all of their money as well, because you quickly build up caps by doing that. And so now you just go over here and you sleep for 2 days. I turned the voices down so that I could talk. So now, there you go. He's got more cap and more cryo cells. So you can just keep doing this over and over again and just running back and forth. You don't have to do any quests other than the gauntlet. You have to get through the gauntlet to get into Nuka World. That's the inconvenient part. you can just keep doing this forever. And you see, I have so much water that not only are my ammo stockpile going up, my caps are actually going up too. Close enough. So this is my preferred method, because you guys know, I mean, at this point, you know me, you know, I like Nuka World. I love this DLC, but I know there's some people that don't like this DLC, which is why I developed the Vault 88 method. And it helps to have, I mean, if you don't want to do Vault 88, you can just build your water farm and in Sanctuary and just bring your water over here and sell it this way. But yeah, you can, using this method, very quickly build up a huge quantity of ammo. So ammo is, it's arduous. I mean, it's time consuming to get ammo, but it's not difficult. It's just annoying. And now we're going to talk about recommended mods. Now, I did this as a pure vanilla playthrough to show that in vanilla, this is an absolutely viable build. But maybe there's some things that you don't like. Maybe you don't want to spend this much time sleeping. Maybe you don't think it's fair that the ammo is expensive. There's solutions for that. Let's talk about mods. So the first mod I'm going to recommend is just the cheaper cryo cells mod, which you can download in-game through the mods menu. All it does is make cryo cells cheaper, and it increases the amount of cryo cells that merchants have, and it adds it to the Scrounger perk. So you can, as you can see in the description, that way you can find, with the Scrounger perk, you can actually find cryo cells laying around in the wasteland. So this perk alone makes the gun so much easier to use. I didn't use it because I only just discovered it like half an hour ago. Like right before I recorded this, I didn't even know this existed. But honestly, I probably wouldn't have used it anyway because I wanted to demonstrate in a pure vanilla setting with no mods that it was viable. Now, maybe you think that making the ammo just cheaper outright like that is a little bit cheaty. That's okay. Maybe your grievance is with the amount of time that you have to spend waiting and sleeping. I hated that part of this process. Most of my time purchasing ammo was spent sleeping. It's obnoxious. And so I did go looking for ways to make the sleep time go faster. And I did find this mod. I never actually implemented it, but I wanted to see if such a thing existed. I have not used this mod, but it's got good reviews. I mean, it's got over 2,000 reviews, and it's relatively new. I mean, so it's got 2,000 reviews since June of last year. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, options do exist. Like I said, I did not use this mod at all. I just looked to see if it existed out of curiosity so that I could recommend it to you guys as an option you could look into. I am not endorsing this mod. I have not tried it, but you could certainly give it a try and see if it works for you. Or you could go on, you know, and this one wasn't in game. This I had to go to Nexus mods for. And there you have it. That is the Captain Cold build. I am going to be doing a playthrough of this. I have actually already uploaded the first episode at the same time that I uploaded this. So if you want to see how it does, feel free to give that a look. I'll be uploading episodes twice a week for the next couple of weeks. This one's going to be a little bit shorter than the Wild Priestess. Wild Priestess was, I think, 23 episodes. This one's only 15. I really just kind of wanted to put it through its paces, demo it, and really show that it's viable and it works. And I think I did a pretty good job of demonstrating that. I've got some more ideas for other really cool builds in the future. I am also going to be possibly in the future live streaming. I might be going over to Twitch, so look for that. But in the meantime, thanks for checking out my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.